Lions are also known for a unique behavior: roaring together, a synchronized call that strengthens social bonds and asserts territorial claim. In the dry floodplain, that roar can echo up to 8 kilometers, a silent message. This territory is not easily taken. In this unforgiving land, the lion is not just a predator. It is a symbol of power, discipline, and order. These traits are what keep them firmly at the top of the ecological pyramid during the searing dry season in North Luangwa. The dry season brings about a synchronized rhythm among many animal species, and Crochet's zebra also rises early to begin its daily journey of survival. This is a subspecies unique to the Luangwa Valley, easily recognized by its dense black stripes with no brown shadowing in between. On the shallow savanna of the Luangwa River floodplain, zebra herds gather early along the grassy riverbanks, areas that still hold moisture and fresh young plants. Data from the Frankfurt Zoological Society shows that during the dry season, zebra herds, like other grazers, must travel tens of kilometers each day in search of water and tender grasses. Their survival hinges on moving in large groups, which offers protection from predators and helps quickly locate water sources. As the Luangwa River recedes, isolated waterholes become gathering points for all life. Experienced zebras lead the herd there early in the morning before the sun climbs to a scorching 33 degrees Celsius. This timing allows them to drink sufficiently and feed on moisture-rich grasses, minimizing the need to travel further during the heat of the day. In this sweltering heat, one might assume that the giants would struggle most, but the African elephant stands as a mighty warrior, battling the elements with grace. Within the Luangwa River floodplain, elephant herds have endured for thousands of years, even actively reshaping the ecosystem through their intelligence, unity, and extraordinary adaptability. This species exhibits a classic matriarchal social structure, with each herd led by an older female. Her leadership isn't based on strength, but on spatial memory and decision-making skills, crucial factors in guiding the herd through the harsh, dry season. African elephant herds can travel up to 30 kilometers per day in search of water, relying on the matriarch's ability to recall dozens of seasonal water sources with remarkable precision. But their impact goes beyond water seeking. African elephants make mud. Using their tusks or front legs, they can break through hardened soil to form shallow depressions that temporarily hold water. This behavior benefits many smaller species as well. That's why, in ecology, elephants are known as ecosystem engineers. Their trunk, containing more than 40,000 individual muscles, is a survival tool. African elephants use this remarkable organ to pluck leaves, snap branches, dig for water beneath cracked earth, and even create water holes for other animals. A single adult elephant can draw up 10 to 12 liters of water in one go, helping its body stay regulated even as daytime temperatures exceed 35 degrees Celsius. This region is also referred to as Zambia's elephant stronghold, due to its high population density and visible social dynamics. Beyond sharing food and helping raise young, elephants also exhibit mourning rituals for fallen members, something incredibly rare in the animal kingdom. Amid the dry and risk-laden floodplain, their endurance, discipline, and emotional depth have made the African elephant one of Africa's most socially profound and resilient creatures. Also a large animal that prefers to keep a low profile near swamps and cool mudflats. The African buffalo often uses these spots to regulate body temperature and fend off insects and parasites. But in the dry season, the top priority shifts to fulfilling its role as a great family that dominates the Luangwa River floodplain in a collective effort to survive. Buffalo herds can reach into the hundreds, gathering around isolated waterholes, where the remaining water becomes vital during this parched season. According to a report by Crafted Africa, these herds are sometimes so massive they're described as huge herds, occasionally reaching up to 1,000 individuals. During the dry months, when daytime temperatures soar to 35 degrees Celsius with no rain, African buffaloes depend mainly on riverside grasses and moist mudflats for grazing and drinking. Each day, the herd moves an average of 4 to 6 kilometers, searching for food and hidden water sources within the mud, based on observed behavior from Ruaha National Park in Tanzania. Though they are prime targets for lions and other large predators, African buffaloes are far from easy prey. When cornered, the herd can form a living wall, horns raised high, ready to counter. This defensive formation is enough to make even lions think twice. African buffaloes play a key role in the upper food chain and help create focal points of life, influencing the migration habits of other grazers. As noted by an ecologist from North Luangwa Conservation in 2023, buffalo keep the floodplain from falling silent. They are the connective thread of the entire ecosystem. As the dry season closes with its final hot gusts and the ground begins to soften under the first drops of rain, North Luangwa enters a completely different phase. The entire land seems to awaken. From November to April, the region receives between 700 and 1,200 millimeters of rainfall, with the heaviest showers typically falling between December and February. Temperatures range from 22 to 30 degrees Celsius, and the rising humidity makes the air heavy, but full of life. Cracked earth turns slippery and muddy. Fresh grass blankets the Mopane savanna, and trees burst into new growth across the Mayombo woodland. The landscape transforms in dramatic fashion. No more smoke or heavy footprints, just a brilliant green stretching all the way to the horizon. This is the season of renewal. At the Luangwa River floodplain, as rainfall intensifies from December onward, the Luangwa River expands its reach, spilling over the banks to form a network of channels and oxbow lagoons. Fresh grass shoots up at an astonishing rate, partly fueled by the rich sediment deposited during each river swell. As a result, animals spread out more widely and gather less frequently in single locations, even though the floodplain remains the central hub of activity. The The rainy season in the Luangwa River floodplain is a time of renewal, and it is also the story of the black rhinoceros here. When the first rains fall, the ground softens and vegetation explodes into life. This is when the black rhino enters its most active phase of the year. Unlike the dry season, when they stay hidden in dense thickets to conserve moisture, the rainy season allows rhinos to expand their territory, move more freely, and graze constantly to build up energy. With softened ground, they use their horns and feet to scrape paths and trails through tall grass, both to forage and to mark territory. The behavior of rubbing horns against tree trunks is observed more frequently during the wet season, partly instinctive, partly to remove mud and debris clinging to their skin. Each individual can consume up to 50 kilograms of grass and leaves per day, helping manage vegetation and maintain the ecological balance along the riverside. Because they are solitary and extremely sensitive to sound, black rhinos often visit muddy flats and shallow waterholes in the early morning. Beyond drinking, they coat themselves in mud, which helps repel insects and cool their skin in the humid heat of the rainy season. Observations from 2024 have also recorded an increase in sightings near open clearings, reflecting their flexible behavior as young grass spreads across the floodplain. Classified as critically endangered, the black rhinoceros vanished from Zambia for nearly 2 decades. But its steady recovery in North Luangwa, the only region with a naturally regenerating population, has become a symbol of success in wildlife conservation. And now, every quiet step they take in the rainy season stands as proof that nature can heal if given the right protection, just like the original call in Genesis 2:15. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it, to serve and care for creation with faithful stewardship. The return of the black rhino is both a biological triumph and a powerful response to the sacred responsibility humanity was entrusted with from the beginning. Another large animal that fully comes to life during the rainy season in the Luangwa River floodplain is the hippopotamus. As the Luangwa River rises, spilling into side channels and oxbow lagoons, the hippo becomes the undisputed ruler of the shallow waters. Throughout the day, they remain submerged, barely moving, to regulate body temperature, surfacing only every few minutes to breathe before slipping back underwater. But when dusk falls, the hippos quietly leave the river, following well-worn trails to the flooded grasslands, where each individual may consume up to 40 kilograms of fresh grass each night. The rainy season is a time for both feeding and breeding, and dominant males become especially territorial and aggressive. Clashes are frequent as they battle for position within the herd and access to females, resulting in dramatic confrontations across misty waters. Weighing up to 1,800 kilograms and capable of opening their jaws to 150 degrees, the hippopotamus has no real rivals in this environment. While adult hippos are generally avoided by predators, the calves remain vulnerable, making vigilance and protection